Good morning, my friends. How is everyone this morning? I hope you're well. It's a lovely Monday morning, July 18th, and I'm in my backyard. And as you can see, all of my Principi Borghese tomatoes are pretty well gone. They've all been pulled up out of here. This is Juicy Fruit Island. And they've been replaced by, there are 14 moringa plants. If you watched a month or so ago, if you go back to that, you'll see that I planted moringa seeds that I got from Baker's Creek Heirloom Seeds. And moringa is the tree of life. I mean, it really is a plant that is so good for you. And you just take the leaves and you can either consume them raw, just like this, just straight off the plant, or you can take them and let them dry naturally until a crumbled stage, and then you make powder out of it and you can ingest that. You can buy little capsules that so that you can just swallow it that way. Personally, I've been adding it to food, and just a little at a time, so that I'm not upsetting my system, because it is, if you eat too much of it, you are going to be frequenting the bathroom. It does make your bowels move. So, but anyway, it is, it's very high in protein. It's high in all the essential vitamins that we need. If you Google it, I mean, it does everything but, build a house for you. I mean, it's incredible if you have diabetes, or I'm trying to high blood pressure, migraines, arthritis. I mean, it was just, the list was endless. Anyway, these are two that I planted. I have one here, and then I have one in the center at that end, and they were growing along with the tomatoes. And I also have one large one down there at the end that looked like it was died back whenever we had a couple freezes in February. And I kind of trimmed it back and trimmed it back, and lo and behold, it sprouted out again, and it's come back even stronger. And then I have one that is over here. Same thing. I had just a little tiny start, and you can see that it's kind of like being held up and growing along with this Florida red maple. Anyway, I wanted to reset my Juicy Fruit Island, and so I'm not expecting any fruit this year off of either this Florida Prince peach tree or the 20th century Asian pear tree, one at that end and one at this end. And as they say with fruit trees, the first year they sleep, and then the second year they creep, and then the third year they leap. So this is really, I would consider this their first year. If I get anything off of it next year, I might let one piece of fruit hang on there, but I won't expect a grand harvest. But anyway, back to the moringas. As you can see, they're doing very, very well. Oh, by the way, here was one little tomato plant that kind of reseeded itself somewhere along the way, and I didn't have quite the heart to pull it out. So we'll see how it does in our summer heat. I also came across some French marigold seeds that I had from last year that I harvested. Now the French marigolds are the shorter variety, and the blossom on that, the bloom head, it looks, how do I want to say it? It looks almost like little seashells all around the blossom, and they're like I said, they're shorter. Now when I had the tomatoes in here, I used the African seeds that I had, and I grew African marigolds, and they were, as you would probably recall, they were almost as well, they were as tall as the tomato plants, which really came up, and they were tomato plants were almost my shoulder height, so those tomatoes got to almost 5 feet. And so this time I wanted to have something just a little lower, more of a ground cover of color. So I did plant some in little pots, little starter pots that I had, and as you can see, they came up, and I'm going to I did transplant these, and we'll see if they even make it. This gets the afternoon sun. But what I wanted to mention to you is about seed saving and how simple it is to seed save, and that is that you just clip the heads off of them, let them dry out a bit, and then if I see if I can open this one-handed, just a few blooms, and you'll have loads and loads of seeds. Let's see if you can see down in there. Can you see my seeds? There's probably 500, 1,000 seeds in there. And going down here, that's probably only maybe 50 little seedlings. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and on this side, I have it on the one side, and I was thinking about just direct seeding it on the other so that I have a nice little circle of orange and yellow. I think there were some that were like a burnt brown or a burnt orange, I guess I should say, and they were really pretty. I had them growing out in the front yard last year. So, when you go to a seed company and it's $4 for 20 seeds or 50 seeds or whatever, you pretty much, count them out, or you're a little bit more thrifty with them. But if you save your own and you've got thousands, you can afford to just broadcast them and then take off what you think is, too much. So that was my suggestion for the day, is that if you are growing something and you think it's pretty and you can save some seeds, hey, why not? And if you're not going to use them, then pass them on to somebody and allow them to enjoy it also. I just learned a tip today also. I was listening to another channel, and it's called The Edge of Nowhere, and they're out in Phoenix. Dwayne and Lori, I think, is her name, and lovely channel if you get a chance to pop on. And they were just starting to grow moringa. Moringa is also really good if you have animals. It provides nutrition for your animals, whether it's a dog or a cat, or you have farm animals. If you want to take those lower branches off, they're probably not quite as nutrient rich. So, feed it to your animals and allow them to have the benefits rather than just tossing them in the compost pile. But his comment was that moringa, when you are transplanting them, try and make sure that you don't fuss with the roots, because moringas don't like to have their roots disturbed. And I thought, oh, that's probably true. And also, if it starts to, moringa is also they have a taproot system, so they really like to, go down and they like to go down, and as we used to say, if you're digging for, to go to China. If you want to transplant it and you do see that it has a taproot system, make sure that tap is going down straight and you provide it with that room. If it's circling the pot, then you've almost hit it too late. So just take that little tip if you're trying to grow your own moringa plants. So that was it. I just wanted to show you what was happening with Juicy Fruit Island, and hopefully I can bring you back in another at the end of the month or beginning of August and show you that I have some marigolds that are springing up here. One other thing I wanted to show you was that my pear tree here was really looking great, and then all of a sudden I'm starting to notice, now that I've got the tomato plants and they're not taking over, that I'm getting a little bit of end tip here, and I thought, aha, here we go, here's the culprit. We have a bug of some sort taking over and trying to. So I think what I'm going to do is take my worm tea and put it in a spray bottle and try to spray these and try and get them to be strong enough to ward off any bugs that come along. And so that was about it. As I said, it's a beautiful day. It's actually in the about 80 degrees now. I think it's almost 7 o'clock, and it's about 80 degrees and probably about closer to 85% humidity. And you can see that the yard doesn't look too bad for the middle of July. I'm not facing too many bug problems this year. I think the more I go organic, the more I'm finding that when I do see little bugs, it occurs to me that they might just be helpful little bugs versus chewing bugs. Not this guy, we got to get rid of him, but some of the little roly-polies and different things that are in my yard are probably being little workhorses. And also, of course, I'm seeing more and more worms out in my garden. So take care, everybody. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you'll come and visit me again real soon. Bye-bye.